And my name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And P.I.L.L stands for prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. And we tell you the truth about how loans and mortgages actually work. You see, too much time has gone on between the time of the first self-amortizing mortgage in 1936 to now, where no information is being given out. Right now, right here, today, no matter if your mortgage is small or big, even humongous, we're going to show you how these mortgages actually work and how you can save a ton of interest and therefore pay that mortgage off fast and cheap. Listen, folks, you want to focus here, okay? Not on your interest rate. Don't focus there. Focus on your interest cost. You can manage interest cost. You can't do anything about what you see. Listen, you negotiated the best price you can for the house. And when you get that mortgage, there's nothing you can do about the money that you borrowed. That's fixed. You borrowed $800,000 on your jumbo mortgage. That means you have to pay back $800,000. But you don't have to pay back all of the interest that they're looking for. You definitely want to see this. So if you're on YouTube right now, we're getting ready to transition. I'm sorry, on Clubhouse, we're getting ready to transition over to YouTube. You want to see how jumbo mortgages get slashed. Oh my goodness. So if you're here on YouTube, go ahead and tell us where you're watching from. Go ahead and say hello in the comment section while we get everything else running here. All right. So tell us where you're from, and let me see here. There we go. Screen 2. All right. We got that going. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's see here. Let me see what else we can do. We've got, there we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. All right. So listen, what is a jumbo mortgage anyway? Anything over a 700, well, it depends on where you are in the country, but generally right around 750 or more is a jumbo mortgage. It's a non-conforming mortgage. So, hold on for a second. So it's a non-conforming mortgage. So you have to, so they have to give you a special mortgage for that. Grand Rising. All right. Hello, Sharon from Memphis, Tennessee. Good to see you in here this morning. All right. Who else is in here? So if you have a jumbo mortgage, depending on where you live, it's going to be around $750,000 or more. But just because you have a jumbo mortgage, don't make the mistake other people do to make sure that you manage that mortgage correctly. I'm going to tell you, good morning, Zoe. All right. Where are you from? Where are you listening? Where are you watching from, Zoe? Good morning to you. All right. So anyway, and this works whether the mortgage is small or large, and we're talking about paying off all of your debt. So can I first start here? All right. Let me first start and tell you how we're going to attack this thing. Hampton, Virginia. All right. My dad went to school at Hampton. All right. So when you're attacking this mortgage, you have to know how much money is going to principal and how much money is going to interest. We're also going to get into the technology that's used to save you a ton of interest. But first, so you don't think that this is something that we made up, I'm going to show you what you can do if you have a very large mortgage here at 7%. So here's what they want. An $800,000 mortgage, ladies and gentlemen, at 7% interest. The payment is $5322.42. All right. And it is not the interest rate that's the problem. It's the interest cost. How much interest do they want on an $800,000 mortgage? It's right here. $1,116,071.20. That is a lot of interest. Start inviting some people in here. Listen, if you know somebody with a jumbo mortgage or building a house that's going to have a large mortgage on it, there's some things that you don't want to do. One of those things, let me make some notes along with you. One of those things you don't want to do is put a large down payment on it. If you can afford this payment, then this is the mortgage you want. Okay. Don't put a large down. Don't put any large. Don't put more of a down payment on this loan than you need to. Put the minimum amount down to get into it. All right. And there's a reason why we say that, and I'll tell you in a minute. So no down payment. Okay. Don't buy down the rate. Listen, do you know if you're going into a subdivision where they're building luxury homes, okay, they're building luxury homes, 800,000 to 1.5 or $2 million. If you're moving in there, and they're brand new homes, one of the things that they'll do is they'll say, listen, we'll offer you an incentive to buy here, and we will buy down your interest rate for you. All right. They're going to pay somewhere between $12,000 and $17,000 to buy your rate down. All right. I'm going to show you how you want to use that money differently. All right. Don't buy down the rate. So if somebody's going to spend $12,000 to $17,000, okay, I'm going to let them know. Listen, I'll work with you guys. I'll put my house right. I'll buy this house, but you don't have to buy down the rate. Give me the $17,000, okay? And I'll pick up a check at closing. Give me the $17,000, and I'll take the original rate, and I'll still buy the house. There's a reason for that. All right. So let's remind me of that. So don't buy down the rate. And another thing that people are saying to do is when the interest rates drop, then you can refinance into a lower interest rate. Never, ever, ever. Okay. Never refinance your loan just to get a lower interest rate. Never do it. It doesn't pay. Okay. It'll lower your payment, but it doesn't do what you want it to do. Generally, when people refinance, it's 5 to 7 years in. And generally, when you get a refinance on your mortgage, they give you a new 30-year mortgage. That's what lowers your payment. The contributing factor, the main factor in lowering your payment is dividing what you have left to pay over a new 360 months. It's not the lower interest rate. See, we've been told to covet a low interest rate when we should be learning how to manage the debt with the interest rate we have and see if a higher interest rate would actually work better for us. Oh my goodness. Did I just say that? Did I just say manage to see if you can get a higher interest rate? So watch this. Watch this. Out of all of that money, remember, our payment is $5,322.42. Out of all of that money, look how much goes to principal: $655.75. And look at this interest: $4,666.67. That's how much interest they want in just the first month. The second month is not much better: $4,662.84. The third month, $4,658.99. Every single month, you pay a little less interest, and a little more principal every single month. But it's the principal we attack the loan with. So let me tell you here. So listen, if you're new, come on into YouTube so you can see what we're doing what we're doing here. Go ahead and click that link. Come on in and join. Listen, you can actually come into our studio audience and join here with us. I'm getting ready to turn the audio off of Clubhouse right now. All right, so here's what we got, folks. This is how important it is to know how to read an amortization schedule. If you have especially if you have a jumbo mortgage like this. If you make this first payment here, let's say it's January, February's principal payment is $659.58. There's nothing that says you have to wait till February to give that money to the bank. $659.58. If you give the bank that money early, let's say you give it to them in January as well. Do you know you're paid down to line 2 in January? They have to subtract the $659.58 and the $655.75 from what you owe. All right. It's written in your contract. So once you do that, you're paid down to line 2, which means your next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3. You got rid of all of line 2 for only $659.58. And this $4,662.84 in interest, you just saved that. You never have to pay that. That's going to be our foundation. Understanding what happens when you prepay. Okay. So now that you have an idea what's going on here, let me show you one other thing. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Look here, about $8,000. You see, you're going to pay about $8,000 in the first year on this mortgage, and they want all of this money in interest. Let me show you something about how powerful this program actually is in getting rid of the debt. Would you like to see? Would you like to see? Put a number 9 in the chat if you'd like to see how powerful this system is. We're going to move this over for you. Okay. Okay. This is John and Rebecca Jones. All right. So, and this is their opportunity cost calculator. And we're starting in the month of January. All right. Let's take a look at what they have to work with. In their accounts, okay, they have in their checking account $6,176. In their savings account, they have $5,000. So they're not rich, okay? So they've got $6,000 here, they got $5,000 there. They have an auto loan. They almost have that paid off, okay? They have a MasterCard, and it only has it's $7,300, all right? But they have $7,600 available on it. Their Visa has $11,800 available, but they owe $8,000, all right? $81.67. They have a brand new mortgage of $800,000, and they also have a HELOC, and they don't owe any money on that, okay? That's what we're looking at. So if you take a look at what they're going to do with their current budget, it's going to be amazing, all right? So watch this. This is how much interest they will not pay on this mortgage. Remember when I showed you, let me see here. Remember when I showed you how much interest the bank wants? All right, let me do this. Let me move this over here. Uh-oh, I moved the wrong one. Okay, let me move this over here, and I'm going to move the whole tab so we can go back and forth. All right, so let's move this tab over to here. Boom. All right, there you are. All right, so we have this $800,000 mortgage. The bank wants $1,116,000. But by putting it in this program, John and Rebecca Jones already know that they're going to save $789,000 in interest on this loan using their current budget. That's amazing. And pay off everything they owe, everything I just showed you, in 10.4 years. Jumbo mortgage, car loans, credit cards, everything paid off in 10.4 years. and do it standing on their head. Easy. They're still able to go on vacation. They're still able to save money. They're still able to do a lot of things. Let's go ahead and run through this just for a second. I want to show you some interesting things about this. Okay. So they make their mortgage payment and they're only making the minimum payment here on the first, only making the minimum payment on the first. Okay. Here they have let me see here. I need to switch this over. We don't want this. Let's see, settings, reset account. No, we want to go to preferences. They have a HELOC. We don't want to use the HELOC method. We want to use the checking and savings method. Okay, checking and savings account. There we go. And then update this. There we are. Let me see here. Line of credit method. All right, so they have the line of credit. It's 10.3 years to get out of debt, but we want to use the checking and savings account. We're going to do that. Okay. All right. And 789,000, 789,006. We're going to save. All right. We're going to save a little bit more here, but I want to use the checking and savings method. So it's 10.3 years to get out of debt if we use their HELOC in the system, 10.4 years. But I want to use the checking and savings method only because there's some things I want to show you. Okay. So we go back here. All right. Now, this is where we make our payments. We tell the program we make our payments. We just execute that. Tell the program we made the payment and then it disappears. Okay. And then let me see. So we're going to pay off. They want to use pay off the MasterCard. All right. Let me see here. Okay. And we're making minimum payments on everything else. Okay. We got their food and dining budget. All right. They've got the living expenses in here. All right. $2,490.71. So they're paying all of their bills. All right. But every now and then, watch this. The program says put money in savings. Take that money out of your checking account and put it into savings. Put it into savings and pay off the debt. Put money into savings and pay off the debt. Put money in savings and pay off the debt. Okay? So here's what we're doing. Anytime that they have money left over, the program says put the money in savings so that they can pay off the debt. All right? So let me show you. Let's go through the first few months on the program. All right. Would you like to see that? Now, I can do it one at a time. I can execute everything one at a time. Okay. But that would take us too long this morning. All right. What we're going to do is select the entire month and get rid of the entire month. And so we're going to do the entire month all at once. So we're going to execute multiples and let's see, select all and execute. Okay, so now we're in the month of February. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pay our bills, get our income in, and when the program says put money in savings, we will. So we're going to just select the entire month, execute multiples, do the whole month. And now we're in the month of March. We're in the current month. Now the program says, okay, you've been all of your income coming in and you're paying your bills. The program says, now put some money into savings, right? And then attack the Visa. Pay off the Visa, pay off the MasterCard. Let me show you something about paying us all off at one time out of the money in your savings account. When we check this out, by paying this off all at once, look how much interest you save. Maybe I need to make this bigger so you guys can see it. All right, there we go. Made it a little bit bigger. That's too big. There we go. $11,000 in interest. $11,000 in interest saved because we're paying this all off at one time out of the money, out of your savings account. How does this work? When you pay your bills, there's money left over. So the program says, take the money that's left over and put it in your savings account. When you get enough money in your savings account, we're going to start attacking your debt, all right, out of the savings account, not out of your regular budget where you have to steal money from your family, like telling them, you can't go on vacation this year because we have to pay off the debt. You can't play baseball. You can't go to ballet. You can't take the piano lessons because somebody said you can't do any of that stuff until you pay off all of this debt, meaning that debt is wrong. Let me tell you something, folks. Leveraging somebody else's money in a wise way better than cash. Have you ever heard the term cash is trash? Leveraging somebody else's money is the way to go. How do I know that? Because of every bank anywhere in any town. Go downtown right now. What are the tallest buildings in your town? Downtown. The banks? Well, aren't they the biggest borrowers in town? They borrow our money. They invest that money. They make huge amounts of profit with that money. And then they pay us pennies on the dollar for the use of our money. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we borrow the bank's money, get a huge benefit for that, buy a house, buy a car, pay for education, pay for the kids' education, save money, put money in investments? Why can't we use their money, get a big benefit for it, and then pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of it? Not what they want. We're just going to fix it so that we pay them what we want. You control how much interest you pay on this. So when we do that, folks, look what happens. We save this much money, all right? And then we're going to pay off, we're going to put money on the MasterCard, all right? So now let's go ahead and go through March. We're going to select the month of March and execute that. I can't do the whole month. I'd have to change too many dates, okay? Because we cannot, so today is the 8th. We can't go past the 8th, all right? But I just wanted to show you what would happen if we do this. We're starting to attack the credit cards. Let me do this so I can show you what happens. I want to go in and go to preferences. We're going to trick the program here, okay? The program is set on automatic. I want you to see what happens if we were to put that money on the mortgage. So we're going to select the mortgage to put money on the mortgage first, okay? And then go back to the action plan and see what the program says to do, okay? So now the program says, all right, in the month of March, we're going to put $13,000 out of savings, not out of your checking account, not out of your regular budget, but this is money that you're able to save up over time. Now, if you have a jumbo mortgage, chances are you have this type of income, all right? So now the program says, take that money and put it on there. So we're going to see what would happen if we put $13,172.89 on the mortgage. Look here, around $86,000 in interest saved. $86,000 in interest saved. How many months did we just take off there? I can give you an idea by looking at this. So we're going to go back here. We're going to scroll down to 13,000, okay? Right around in here. Do you know that $13,000 prepaid knocks off about 19 months? And there's your $80-some thousand, $83,000 in interest saved. There it is. This is how it works. 19 months. You knocked off over a year and a half off of mortgage payments using money sitting in your checking account, making 1/10 of 1%. Does this make sense to you guys? So if you have a jumbo mortgage, and you start attacking it like this out of money left over just sitting in your savings account, oh my goodness, what this can do for you. All right. So now, listen, do I have any questions? If you have any questions, I got some folks in here. If you have any questions, you can click the link, come into the studio by following the instructions, and ask your question, or you can type it into the comment section. Because right now, if you understand this, I'm going to move on to the next point. I'm going to move on to the next point. Down payments. Down payments. Now, what John and Rebecca could do, what if they had an extra $100,000? Okay, when they made their down payment on this loan, okay, they had an $800,000 loan, and let's go take a look at this loan. Okay, let's take a look at the mortgage. They had an $800,000 mortgage. Look at this. And their payment is $53,2242. That's their payment. So they could have said, you know what? I can afford this, but I would rather put $100,000 down and save that interest. So let's take a look at, let me see what I have here. Okay. $800,000 mortgage. So we're going to duplicate this tab, and we're going to put $100,000 down. We're going to turn it into a $700,000 mortgage, change, and our new payment is this, $4657.52. Okay, that's our new payment. So Don, well, if we put $100,000 down, won't we pay less interest overall? Well, look, it dropped down to $976,000 in interest instead of $1,116,000. So by putting $100,000 down, it looks like it's the right thing to do. And the payment goes from $53.32 to $4,083. But folks, if you can afford this payment, this is the loan you want. Because if you want to put $100,000 on your loan, get the loan first. Then, once they make your first payment here, couldn't you put your $100,000 on principal now? Could you do that? Listen, if you already know what's going to happen, all right? Put some number nines in the chat. Put some number nines in the chat, okay? If you already know what's going to happen, because I'm going to look at cumulative principal, and I'm going to put I'm going to show you what would happen if you put $100,000 on this loan. So we're going to scroll down and get to $100,000 in principal paid, all in 1 month. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Here it is, folks. 110 payments knocked off. Look how much interest we just saved. Over $480,000. $480,000 all in 1 month, knocked off of this mortgage, and 110 payments. 120 payments. 120 payments. That's what? 10 years? That's almost 10 years knocked off using $100,000 the right way. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever put a large down payment on your jumbo mortgage. Use that money so it will benefit you. Look at this. If you don't do anything else, you've already knocked off $480,000 in interest and knocked off over 9 years off this mortgage. If you don't do anything else but make the regular mortgage payments for the rest of the time. Shh. Look here. And you still have the $700,000 mortgage. Look here. You still have the $700,000 mortgage. So which way would you want to have the $700,000 mortgage, ladies and gentlemen? Put it as a down payment or use it as a prepayment. Which looks better to you? All right. Now, let me show you another thing. Okay. All right. So let's go back. We have the $800,000. But remember, in this particular subdivision, they are offering to buy down your rate. Let's say they could buy it down to 5%. They could buy it down to 5%. They're going to spend $17,000 of their money because of the high interest rates. Houses are moving a little bit slower, especially the jumbo variety. Okay. And so what they're doing is trying to incentivize you by attracting you with a lower interest rate. Steve Mack, all right, talking about prepayment. There you go. All right. So here's what I want to show you. What if they spend $17,000 of their money to buy your loan down to 5%? So we're going to put in a 5% mortgage. All right. We're going to take this out. Here's our new payment. Still $800,000. Still 5%. Okay. Fix my lighting here. All right. Still 5%. All right. And look here. The payment is $4,294.57. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of taking the $42.94, I can afford this payment. I can afford the $53.22.42. What if you can afford that payment? And they said, now you tell the builders, yeah, don't bother buying down the loan. Don't bother buying down the rate. Give me the $17,000 at closing. Okay, give me the $17,000. So when I close on this loan and I make my first payment, I'm going to take that $17,000 you're going to use to buy down the rate. I'm going to use $17,000 this way. Look at cumulative principal again. Here's cumulative interest. We're going to put $17,000, not use it to give to the bank, but we're going to use that $17,000 to save us interest and time on this loan. Let's scroll down, okay, to $17,000, where it knocks off 2 years off of this mortgage. 2 years knocked off immediately, and 17,000 of their dollars saves you $115,000 in interest. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? Is that a better use of the $17,000? If you have a jumbo mortgage and they're trying to incentivize you, Lord have mercy. Don't do that. Put it in here. Tell the program that let's go back. Let me take this back here. All right. And we're going to tell the program that we have an extra $17,000. Let's see what the program does. Okay. Remember, we're supposed to save. The program is going to put $12,000 on the debt, but we're going to, Tank, I know that's crazy. So we're going to tell the program here, we're going to add an action. We're going to deposit the $17,000 from the builders, and we're going to deposit it in our checking account. Okay. And let me see here, from the builders. There it is. All right. And we're going to do it on March 1st. All right. We're going to put that in there. So we're going to save that. Oh, sorry. We're just going to call it income. All right. There we go. 17,000. Now look. I need you to see this. What is this on my screen? Get rid of this. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put $28,000 on the mortgage. What? $28,000. When's the last time you did something like this? A prepayment. A prepayment on the mortgage after you have it. Let me show you what happens here. $173,000 in interest saved. $173,000 in interest saved. $28,000 in mortgage payments and prepayments. Okay, $28,000, and there it is. Knocks off, I don't know, about 38 months, 38, 39 months. Look at that. Folks, we have been bamboozled. People have been telling us wrong. Now, why do we want to put this in here? And the program tells us exactly how much to pay. Why? Because this is an optimized amount. The program says, put out of the money that you have, all of the money that you have, only take $28,145.38 out of the money you have saved up and put it on the mortgage. Why? Because when you do the math, this is an optimized amount. What do we mean by optimized? Okay. We want to not just save some interest. I want you to listen closely. I'm looking straight at you right now. When you put that money on, you just don't want to save some time or some interest. You want to save the maximum amount of time and the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. Let's do a little math so I can show you what I mean. Let's put a calculator on the screen. Okay, so we're going to put in 28,000. All right, we're going to put in $28,000. We're saving 173,134. So we're going to put that in 173,134. Okay, 100. All right, and then we're going to divide it by 28,145.38. Look at this. I want to show you something here. Uh-oh. I missed a number. Hold on. Let's 28,145.38. All right. I know you guys, I know you were screaming at the screen. Don, you missed a number. You missed a number. Okay. I got it. Okay. So when we do the math, that's $6.15 for every dollar. Okay. $6.15 for every dollar. That is amazing. That is amazing. But John and Rebecca Jones actually have more in their savings account than that. They could easily put, 30,000 on, or maybe even 35,000. They've got money in the bank. They got money saved up. Okay. So let me show you something here. Let's put on, we're going to do 35,145. I'm gonna write it down. 35,145.38. Now, when we're using the other number, this is how much interest we save. 173,134. Okay. Now we're going to tell the program we want to do this instead. When we do this, we're going to go over here and take a look at the actual amount of interest saved. Okay. It won't be 173,134. Okay. 173,134. It won't be that. It'll be a different amount. So let's take a look and see. So we're going to change the date to today's date. So the program wants you to wait till the 12th. Yeah, we're going to pay it today because we've got the money today. All right. We got the money today. Let's pay it today. So we're going to execute 35,145.38 instead. And the program will then show us how much interest we save. Ooh, look at this. $210,004. $210,004. Let's put our calculator back on the screen. All right, let's put in, remember, we're supposed to save $6.15 for every dollar. $6.15 for every dollar. Okay, that's the max. That's called the optimum amount. So now what we're going to do is take a look at the $210,000 we just saved. 210,000, okay, 004. And how much did we prepay? 35,000. So we're going to divide it by 35,145 and 38 cents. Look here. Equals $5.98. What? We were saving $6.15 per dollar before, and it dropped down to $5.98, 5.975. So because it's this 5, we have to round this up to an 8. Excuse me, $5.98. Listen, folks, how hard do you want your dollars to work? Don't you want every single dollar that you have to work as hard as it possibly can? This is why this program looks to put the least amount of money on your debt at any given time, the least amount at any given time, to save the maximum amount of interest per dollar. That's optimization. This is an optimization program, and it's not a spreadsheet. People are going to try to compare this with a spreadsheet. Don, we can do this for free. I can plug in any number I want on my spreadsheet, and I can tell you when I'm going to be out of debt. But what your spreadsheet won't tell me is how much interest I save or how to optimize the interest. What your spreadsheet won't tell me is exactly to the penny and to the day how much money to put on my debt and calculate the best interest savings for me at that time. Spreadsheet won't do that. Only an opportunity cost calculator can, that looks at thousands of ways you could pay your mortgage, pay your debt, and says, this way, this is what you should do to save the maximum amount of interest, because the more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt. And every single program, okay, I got to stop right here because we're getting ready. Listen, we're getting ready to show you a video. Okay, we're getting ready to show you a video of Eric Thomas. Okay, we're getting ready to show you his video. And the reason why I'm getting ready to show it to you is this. Every single program on the planet except for the P.I.L.L method, and this is a bold claim, no other program on the planet will save you more interest than the P.I.L.L method. None other. No other program on the planet. The more interest you save, the faster you get out of debt. And it could be Dave Ramsey, it could be Susie Orman. I don't care whatever they're talking about. They don't talk about how much interest to save. In fact, they will cost you more in interest. Listen, if you use the very best other program other than the P.I.L.L method, the best you can do, okay, is pay about $50 to $70, and if it's a jumbo mortgage, $100,000 in interest more than you need to pay, because every other program on the planet does not pay attention to maximum interest saved. Only the P.I.L.L method. Only the P.I.L.L method. All right? So let's go ahead and hear from Eric Thomas while I get a drink of water, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Listen, folks, ICE10K.com. ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. Interest Cancellation Expert. Did you hear what ET said? Dr. Eric Thomas? He is the #1 motivational speaker in the world right now, and he used the P.I.L.L method to help him do what he wanted to do to optimize his finances. You see, it doesn't matter how much money you make, and he makes a lot. Listen, I've read articles where he commands up to $150,000 an hour when he speaks to corporations. But it doesn't matter. Did you hear his wife? What if you don't keep making that kind of money? It doesn't matter how much you make. What matters is how much you keep. If you make a lot of money, but you're spending it in interest that you don't need to pay, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in interest you don't need to pay, that's money thrown away. And no other program on the planet helps you there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the screen. If you go to ICE10K.com, you can get a savings and earnings report today. Uh-oh, what happened? I took it off the screen. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I thought I did something. All right. So listen. All right. Eric Thomas here. All right. When you go to ICE10K.com, this is what you see. And there's some videos there. You can watch those videos if you like. But underneath his picture, underneath Eric's picture, watch this. Look here. Get your savings and earnings report. You click on this, and then you can get a free your report for free. Is there any reason that you can think of, if you have a jumbo mortgage or a regular mortgage, and the credit cards and the car loans, is there any reason you can think of that you shouldn't know the month, day, and year you could be debt free and get the report for free? Follow this information. Go to ICE10K.com, interest cancellation expert, ICE10K.com, and click on get a savings and earnings report. Remember, it's right under ET's picture. Get your savings and earnings report. It's 2 steps. Okay. In the first step, you put in your information and then confirm your email address. Once your email address is confirmed, we'll let you into part 2. Put all of your put everything in that we asked for. Okay. How much do you owe on the credit cards, the student loans, the car loans, and the mortgages? Okay. And it doesn't matter. You can put any number of mortgages in that you have. Some of you have more than one. Okay. We can accommodate all of your mortgages, every last one of them, putting them in this program, right? So, and then what you'll do is when you put that information in and hit submit, our staff will get that information. Then we'll call you to confirm everything that you've put in. Once it's confirmed, then we will create your savings and earnings report, and you will know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free. Once you receive that information, you can then choose to have you can go into a consultation. The consultation is only $150 to learn. If this was John and Rebecca Jones, this is, well, listen, I can pay off this jumbo mortgage, my car loan, my credit cards, everything in about 10 years. Yes. Well, how do we do that? When you go into the consultation, that's when we'll talk about how you can implement this program for yourself. Well, Don, what if the information you provide me, I just paid you $150. What if I give you $150, I get this consultation, and I don't like the information that you provided? Okay, you just let us know. We'll give you the 150 back. Everything we do is guaranteed. Everything we do is guaranteed. It must work or you don't pay. We do what we say or you don't pay. That is the truth, and you get it in writing. So if you don't like what you're hearing in the consultation, just let us know. We'll give you the money back. If you like what you're hearing, then you may want to be part of the P.I.L.L Method family and get this lifetime program for yourself. It's a one-time fee. Depends on what we're doing for you. Don't ask me how much it is because I don't know. You need to do a savings and earnings report so that we can tell you. Okay. Once we do that, but look at this. If you're saving, if you're going to save, let's go back here. Let's go back and take a look at this program. If you're going to save $798,000 in interest, that everybody else in your neighborhood, they're going to pay that because 9 out of 10 people will never pay off a mortgage. Yeah, we already did that show. 9 out of 10 people never pay off a mortgage. So if you want to see that, 798,000, we get a very small percentage of the interest saved. But this is a lifetime program. So if you pay off this mortgage in 10 years, then what if you want to set up a luxury rental and buy yourself another house? Every mortgage you put in here, we guarantee your results. Listen, there are a lot of programs out there. There are a lot of programs out there that say they're going to get you out of debt. You're going to save interest, but they don't tell you exactly when, the month, day, and year. They don't tell you exactly how much interest you're going to save. Okay. And they don't guarantee your results. We guarantee your results. We're going to give you a savings and earnings report. Let me pull up a savings and earnings report so you can see what one looks like. All right. So all right, we're going to take a look at this one and this one, and we'll take a look at those three. We'll open them up, see which one gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, not this one. Yeah, let's do this one. This is a larger mortgage. Okay. All right, this is $630,000 mortgage. We'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay. Okay, $630,000 for the mortgage. We have $38,000 in other loans, $20,000 in credit cards. The bank wants them to pay $320,000 in interest. They're going to pay $80,000 in interest. Okay, and then pay off everything in 7 years. There it is. This is what you get. You'll get one of these. If you like it, then we will tell you what your investment in this program is. Now, why do I call it an investment? Because it's a tiny portion of the $240,000 this person is going to save. Okay? And it's a one-time payment. And you never pay another dime for life. How about that? And you can put mortgage after mortgage after mortgage after mortgage in it. And we'll take care of you for life. Customer service, coaching, all of that's included. And if you want to talk to somebody about building wealth, well, let's talk about this. The $240,000 in interest they're not going to pay the bank. We're going to show you a way that you can turn that into $2,617,681 right there. That is the wealth building portion. You thought the P.I.L.L method was just getting out of debt? No, it is building wealth as well. So get a savings and earnings report. You'll get a 2-page report that looks just like this, and we'll take care of you. All right. So let's go back. Oh, listen, I forgot. Did you know the Pill Method? You know we have a book? Do you know I wrote a book? It is the only book on Amazon out of 33 million titles that even begins to talk about how to read and understand an amortization schedule. Okay. It's not a 1, 2, 3 ABC. It is not a book on what to do. It's a book on why you need to do it. It's not a book on what to do. It's a book on why you need to do it, and getting the understanding that about these loans that no one else is teaching, not even at the graduate level in business schools. No one else is teaching it but us. So get the book today. Go to ice10k.com and click on. Let me go. Let's go here. Let's get this off the screen. All right. Boom. Okay. Let's go to ice10k.com right here and buy my book. Get the book. Get the book today. Start reading. Start educating your children. Start educating folks so that they can know what to do. All right. All right. And I'm going to save something else for last. I want you guys to become an affiliate and tell other people about our YouTube channel. Besides, hey, listen, have you clicked on have you clicked the thumbs up on this video? Have you subscribed to our channel? Oh my gosh, go ahead and do that, and make sure you comment on the videos when you see them. We have a ton of videos up for free. All right. And the super chat is open. If you like the information, go ahead and send us a super chat. All right. So here, let's go back. Let's go back to the loans. Let's go back to the loan, because right now, somebody is looking at this loan saying $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, 1.2, 1.5 million, no matter what it is, custom build. Okay. No matter what it is that you're doing, you can save a ton of money by not following best practices, by not putting a big down payment on, by not letting somebody buy your points and getting a lower interest rate if you can afford the higher one. Also, what they're going to tell you is do all of these things, put a big down payment on, do all of these things, and if you don't like the interest rate, guess what? In a little bit, the interest rates will drop. About 5 to 7 years, interest rates will drop. You can refinance into a lower interest rate. Mind you, they didn't say it was going to ultimately save you money. They just said you can get a lower interest rate. And based on what we've been told, we believe getting the lower interest rate will actually save us money. Let me show you something here. Okay. Let me show you something. We got this $800,000 mortgage at 7%. And we're going to go down to 5 years in. 5 years in. Okay. So now we have paid down the loan by $46,000. This is if you're not on the P.I.L.L method, of course. $46,947.33 and paid $272,000 in interest. And now you want to refinance? You've already paid $272,000 in interest. And now you want to refinance? You've been into this loan for 5 years and now you want to refinance just because they're offering you a 5% interest rate as opposed to the 7% interest rate? Well, let's see how that works. Okay. So we're paid down to here. So now we owe $753,000. Let me show you how they do this. It's crazy. $753,000. There are about 7 different ways a bank makes money on a refinance. Okay. And I'm going to just show you, maybe 1 or 2. All right. So we're going to copy that. We're going to duplicate this tab. We're going to put in how much we owe now. Paste that. Okay. And that's $753,052. Okay. And we're going to put in 5% interest rate. And guess what? You've been in the loan for 5 years. They're going to give you a new 30-year loan. Yep. That's what happens. And I don't care if they give you a 300-month loan. So we're down to payment 300. Let's get the 300-month loan. Never do that either. Okay? That's crazy. Never get anything less than a 30 anyway. Don't ever do it. But that's another subject. But let's take a look at this because they're going to give you a new 30-year loan. All right? And now your payment is here. Oh, guess what we forgot? We forgot closing costs. Okay? Can I put about $10,000 in closing costs here? So if we do that, that would be 763,000. Okay, 763,000. So your payment goes from 40, 42, 55, 40, 42, 55 to 40, 96. Just a few bucks more. Just a few bucks more. But we got that low 5% interest rate, and we feel so good about it. And our payment is less. Oh, let's do the math. You know, I love doing the math on this. Okay. Our payment now is 53.22. Let's put this on the screen. Okay. Okay. 53.22.42. And our new payment is 40.96. All right. So we're going to subtract 40.96.23 equals, wow, $1,200 less. $1,226.19 less. But we got a brand new 30-year mortgage. So if you've been in the loan for 5 years, and you get a brand new 30-year mortgage, doesn't that make that a 35-year mortgage? But my payment went down by $1,200. Okay. But let me show you something. Remember that $10,000 you rolled into the loan here? Look, it takes 11 months to pay off that $10,000. That first $10,000 to get back to where you were. But look how much interest they want to charge you. Even at the 5% rate, $34,000. Let me ask you a question. If you got a letter from your credit union today and says, listen, we want to lend you $10,000 for 11 months. I want you to pay us back that money and give us $34,000 in interest on top of it. How many of you would take that loan? Nobody. Nobody would take that loan. You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't take it. And the person in Alabama and the person in New England and the person, listen, all you people who are watching this would not take that loan. But when somehow, magically, when we put it into a mortgage and they tell us we have a lower interest rate, we're okay with this. So when you add it all up, 34,700. Okay, that's $36,000. The refinance costs $36,000. When you add up the $10,000 that you borrowed for the closing costs and put it in this loan, paid it back over 11 months, and let them charge you $34,000 for it. That's just one of the ways they make money. So, folks, never refinance just to get a lower interest rate. If you refinance, there are some good reasons to refinance. Refinance, take money out to invest. Maybe you want to invest in some other property. Okay. But listen, you don't even have to refinance to do that. You can get a HELOC. John and Rebecca Jones have a HELOC. Yeah. Home equity line of credit. So if they want to use some money, they can use their HELOC instead of refinancing. It's cheaper and it's more versatile. Right? Give us a call. You can give us a call. I'm going to put my business number in here. Give us a call. We'll talk about it. If you're thinking about doing any of this, 256-886-1867. Boom. That is our office number. Call and let's talk about it. I'm thinking about refinancing. I'm thinking about doing a lot of things. let's see if a HELOC would work better for me. And listen, once you understand how all of this works, you're going to be probably doing the opposite of everything all these people are trying to tell you. Okay? Listen, we talked about down payments. We talked about no large down payments. Oh, what we didn't talk about, this is the last one. Here's my last note. Don't let them talk you into a lower term. Some of you make pretty good money, and you can get a 25-year mortgage or a 20-year mortgage or even a 15. Okay? So if you could afford it, just think about it. If you could afford it, which would be better, a 30-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage? A 30-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage? Let's get rid of some of these tabs. Okay? So we got an $800,000 mortgage, all right, for 30 years. And we're thinking about, okay, we're going to duplicate the tab. We're thinking about getting a 15-year mortgage. That would be 180 payments. Thinking about it. Okay. Somebody told me that if I can afford it, that's the best way to do it. In fact, Mr. Dave Ramsey says, and you can look it up. I need you to Google this. Okay. Mr. Dave Ramsey says, if you can't afford a 15-year mortgage, you have no business getting a house. If you can't afford the payment on a 15-year mortgage, you have no business getting a house. Well, getting that house. So can I tell you that that's the worst advice I've ever heard in my life? That is absolutely the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. Because listen, you don't need permission to get a 15-year mortgage anyway. Listen, we have the 30-year mortgage is $5,322.42. Here is, let's show you the payment on a 15-year mortgage. Okay, $7,000. Okay, let's get rid of this advertising. Here's the payment on here, $7,190.63. Okay, if you have access to an amortization calculator, even on your bank's website, you can figure out what your 15-year payment would be. Well, why can't you just get the 30 and make the 15-year payment? Why do you need permission to get a 15-year mortgage? Why do you need a 15-year mortgage when you could, if you can afford it, and you don't know anything about the P.I.L.L method? You listen to Dave. Dave says get a 15-year mortgage. No, Dave. We can get a 30-year mortgage and make the 15-year payment. And if things ever get tight for us, we're stuck at this $7,190.63, Dave. We're stuck here because we have a 15-year mortgage. Well, Dave, if I had this mortgage, I could, if things get tight, I can always drop back to this 5322 because I have a 30-year mortgage, but I'm attacking it like it's a 15. You don't need permission to have a 15-year mortgage. Don't do it. Don't ever refinance to a 15. Or refinance to a 20. Listen, it's too much money. It's too much money. Besides, if you can get a 30 and pay it off in 10, why do you need a 15? I don't know. I really don't know. Let me show you another thing. Remember when I told you at the top of the program, this is going to be our last example. And then we're going to get out of here. I'll show you one more video. And then we're going to get out of here. Oh, before I show you the last example, guess what? Sunday show is going to be student loan larceny. Sunday show is going to be student loan larceny. You don't want to miss Sunday show at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. You want to be here and go to the YouTube channel and click on, you want to be notified because you're already subscribed. Okay, there it is, student loan larceny. Oh my gosh. Let the P.I.L.L method, opportunity cost calculator, our AI system, get you out of debt in an average of 5 to 7 years. Student loans gone in an average of 5 to 7 years. Can you imagine? So tune in on Sunday to get this. Tune in on Sunday to get this. All right. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to our last point here. Okay. 15-year mortgage. Oh man, why do I want that? Let me show you here. Remember at the top of the show where I showed you that $659 prepaid on this loan knocks off this much interest. Let me tell you the key to this. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. Nothing else. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. And interest payments you can skip don't matter. They don't matter. So here is this. Let me show you the on an $800,000 mortgage at 7%. Let me show you if it's a 15-year loan. Okay, let me show you here. You want to get rid of one loan. You want to get rid of one payment. Now you got to come up with $2,538.69. That is ridiculous if you want to get rid of one whole payment. Now you can prepay any amount that you want, but if you want to get rid of one whole payment, now you have to come up with $2,500 extra on top of your already large payment. Do you know that the banks already know this? But Don, look at my, oh, they were getting ready to tell me that my interest payment is smaller. No, your interest payments for the first 5 years are virtually the same on a 15 and a 30-year mortgage. Did you know that? Oh yeah. Let's look at it. Here's my 15-year mortgage. Look at my very first payment. $4,667. $4,666.67. All right. Look at my first interest payment on my 15-year mortgage. Oh, just to show you, to prove it, here's the 15-year mortgage, 180 payments. Scroll down. Take a look at this. The exact same amount. The bankers know this. I'm sorry. The bank owners know this. The people who work in the bank never bothered to look. The people that work in the bank never bothered to look at this. And the next interest payment is $46.51. So to get rid of $46.51, I have to pay my regular mortgage payment and then give the bank an extra $2,538.69 to get rid of this payment. $46.51. So, well, $46.62. All right, this is about $9 difference. Okay, but I only have to come up with $659 to get rid of this, which is easier. Folks, we've been in the dark way too long on this stuff. Way too long we've been in the dark. If you have a jumbo mortgage, don't get a 15-year mortgage, get a 30 and pay it off in 8 to 10 years. Using the P.I.L.L method, get a savings and earnings report. Let me show you one other thing. $8,000. This is how much we pay down. This is how crazy a 15-year mortgage is. Okay. The first year, you're going to pay $55,742.56. All right. On this mortgage in 1 year at 8% if you're not using the P.I.L.L method. $55,742. On a 15-year mortgage, it's still over $55,000. And you're putting yourself in a world of hurt. Why would anybody do this? Because they're not looking at interest cost. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not looking at interest cost. They're only looking at interest rate. They're looking at the term. They're looking in all the wrong places. Where they should be looking is right here. So let me show you this. and then I'm done. This is the last example, I promise you. This is how much principal I pay down in 1 year. Remember, control the principal payment and you control the loan. And interest payments you skip don't matter. It says down, look at all these large interest payments, but they're virtually the same. So you can't change that with a 15-year loan. You can't change that. Okay. It's only about $700 difference in a year. So I can prepay $8,126.48. I can prepay that. I could pay it on line one and get rid of a whole year's worth of interest and a whole year's worth of payments. Gone, wiped out. My next mortgage payment, if I started this loan in January, my next mortgage payment would be in February on line 13. I can use $8,126 because it's a smaller amount. Because of my small principal payments, I can attack this loan aggressively. But if I get a 15-year mortgage, my $8,126 only gets me to about here, a little past payment number 3. Between payment number 3 and payment number 4. That's what it does for me. If I want to get rid of a whole year on this mortgage at 15 years, I have to come up with over $31,000 to get rid of my 55 grand in interest. Folks, you won't get this information from Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, or anybody else that's out there. You're only going to get that here. I get so excited about this whole thing. But by the time I'm flying high every time I do this show and I get off the air. Every time. Because you get to see this. $31,000 to get rid of 1 year versus $8,100. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. And interest payments, you can skip. All of these interest payments don't matter. Listen, folks, I want to thank you for being here today. This was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I didn't have any questions. All right. Here's your last chance to ask a question. You can come online or you can put it in the chat. Your last chance to ask a question because we're getting ready to go. But I think I covered it. All right. Get a jumbo mortgage, pay it off in 8 to 10 years. Know how an amortization schedule works. But be back here for Sunday. Be back here for Sunday because if you have student loans, we're going to be talking about it. Okay. Student loan larceny. Don't be taken advantage of any longer. All right. So can we put the graphic up one more time? Student loan larceny. Okay. I like this graphic. Look at that. Look at it. Look at that. That is I love that graphic. All right. Look at you got the P.I.L.L method AI system. All right. The opportunity cost calculator looking at student loan larceny and going to eat it up and get rid of those loans in 5 to 7 years. All right, folks, we're out. All right. So happy Sabbath to you all. And I'll be in church tomorrow. All right. So yeah, don't call me tomorrow. But definitely give us a call. Go to ice10k.com, get your savings and earnings report, and click on become an affiliate. When you become an affiliate, okay, then you can earn money by sharing the YouTube channel with other people. Just the people who are tired of doing it the old way. They're tired of doing it the old way. They want to do it the new way. Okay. They want to get out of debt, all of their debt, in 7 to 9 years and save a ton of interest by using technology that is specifically designed to do exactly that. Get you out of debt more efficiently, that's cheaper and faster than any other program on the planet. Get your savings and earnings report, become an affiliate, and get the book. All right, folks, we'll see you on Sunday. Have a great time, a great rest of your day. and happy Sabbath to you all. And what else was I going to say? I was going to say one more thing. Hold on. Don't play the music yet. One more thing. Man, come on, Don. Okay. I'm getting older. This is my birthday month, by the way. And so anyway, we'll see you. I can't think of it right now. We'll see you. We'll see you on Sunday. All right. Take it easy.
How many want to know how to pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years? You can do all of this without refinancing, without change to your budget, without sacrificing lifestyle.
Me and my husband do the P.I.L.L method, and last year we were able to pay down $33,000 on our mortgage without feeling like we were poor. We still did tons of entertaining things and enjoyed our family.
You don't have to eat beans and rice every day. You don't have to cut up your credit cards. You don't have to drive a 30-year-old car. You don't have to sell pizzas at night to pay off your mortgage. All you need to do is pay the bank less interest. That's what we're talking about today. Here is what P.I.L.L method stands for: prepayment of principal, isolation of principal amounts, leverage, and liquidity. You understand it? You have a way of getting out of debt more efficiently. The interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. You think you're buying a $500,000 home. The true cost of that home is what? $758,000. Total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 51.777%. That's what's going on with this loan. The ability to read and defeat an amortization schedule is not taught at any level of financial education. I need you to understand the power of a penny. You will not hear what I'm talking about from Dave Ramsey. Do you know why? Because I own the copyright. I literally wrote the book.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.